Hello everyone, it's your girl Adria from the Rain's Fangirl channel. Welcome back to my channel. You already know today is another character I'm going to be talking about from Degrassi. This is more like a self-defense video, I guess, character analysis. So we're going to be talking about Emma Nelson from Degrassi. I actually love Emma. I think when I think of like female characters in Degrassi, she is definitely at my top 5 of favorite female characters. Cause trust me, believe I don't have that many of favorite female characters in Degrassi. I don't. Um, Most of my favorite characters in Degrassi, I'm not gonna cap to you, are mostly males. If I have to say some of my favorite female characters in Degrassi are, I like Emma. I like Paige. I like Bianca. I like Maya. How many was that so far? Emma, Paige. I like Emma. I like Paige. I like Bianca. I like Maya. And I like Ellie too. Yeah. Ellie one of my favorite characters. Regardless of her not getting as much or them just making her character just be like all over Craig, I still fuck with her. I like Manny too, but the only reason why I can't say Manny is my favorite, and it's the same thing with Allie. Had they got storylines where it wasn't always about them being with a nigga, they would be on my list. But for the most part, their storylines were only really good if they were with someone. Because let's be so fucking for real, because I was just watching season 6. Manny literally got no fucking storylines, barely any fucking screen time in season 6. The only time she got screen time was when the whole Craig shit happened, and then the party shit with Damon, and then she didn't get any screen time until the Damon shit. So it's like, here we go again. Her character is only interesting when she's with a guy. It's like, why can't we get an episode with Manny feeling like, I don't know, consumed with guilt because she feels like she threw the party and JT got killed because of it. Instead, let's make her be with a nigga and make her be stupid. It's just, I never understood it. Y'all can't say the same thing about Emma. Emma actually got storylines that was like real life shit that I like about. Like, everybody, like, she had the whole anorexic storyline, which I always say is one of her greatest fucking performances. She had a, man, that's one of the best storylines to ever be in Degrassi. She had the anorexic storyline. She had the whole child predator storyline. She had the PTSD storyline with Jay. I know it's something else I missed. She had the whole storyline finding her dad. Like, Emma had real life shit storylines. It wasn't always just nigga, 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 nigga. It wasn't just always her dating someone. She had a storyline in season 7 where she, with the girl, I think they were called the Purple Dragons, was like basically telling Emma, like, you know, you were like the largest size we ever had to making Emma, you know, reconsidering her weight, thinking that she over big because, you know, she did have the anorexia. So it's like, Emma had storylines in Degrassi where it wasn't just always about guys, which confuses me. Why do people hate her character when it's not repetitive? I think one of the main things that irritates me about Emma's character, considering the fans, because I do feel like Emma's character is really overhated. A lot of y'all say she never grows over time. A lot of y'all say she never changes. I think one of the main things that irritates me about Emma is that people sometimes forget that she's human. Like, I don't know why is it whenever she opens her mouth, it's the fucking Antichrist, or people feel like the world is about to stop turning. But it's like whenever she says something, it's automatically a problem, and I just don't get it. She is not perfect. She is flawed. But one thing I would never do is tell someone they can have their way of thinking. Why is it that Emma is a misogynistic or she's a bad friend if she's keeping it 100 with Manny? It's the same thing I would have done. Me and my sister just had a conversation about this last night. Y'all remember the hallway scene? in season 3 where Emma was like she doesn't want to be friends with the school slut. People was like, oh, that's so misogynistic. She always takes it way below the belt. Here's my thing. Didn't many call her a prude? Many basically made fun of her for not wanting to give her pussy up to a nigga that's in a relationship because it's more fun that way. More fun to what? Be the side bitch? Be the side piece to sleep with a guy that's in a relationship? No, Emma was asking Manny all the right questions. Don't you feel bad that... I mean, Manny doesn't necessarily have to feel bad that she's hurting Ashley. Why? Because she has no loyalty to her. At the end of the day, it's not Manny's job to tell Ashley what her and Craig had going on or what her and Craig is doing. She don't have any loyalty to Craig, to any loyalty to Ashley. Craig do. Craig is loyal to her. Craig is in a relationship with her. The fuck? He don't want taking her out on dates, kissing up on her, telling her he loves her. So if anyone's going to come clean about what they're doing by someone's back, it should be him. My thing is with Manny is that Emma wasn't necessarily saying, doesn't she feel bad what she doing to Ashley? It's more like, don't you feel like it's a little disgusting that you sleeping with a dude who has a girlfriend? Like, where's your morals? Where's your self-respect? Manny obviously didn't have none. She was so crazy over Craig that all she really wanted was to make sure she had him. Even if it was he had a girlfriend, even if it was that he using her on the side. She just wanted to be with Craig to where it's like, girl, you look stupid by making this nigga use you just so you can be with him. So why is Emma a bad friend? Because she was basically keeping 100 with Manny. Manny ass just didn't like the truth. Because Emma always kept the 100. Like, y'all always say Emma was never there for her. Manny was never there for Emma. The only time she was ever there for that bitch was with the whole anorexic thing. That's the only time I could ever feel like she was there for her. She wasn't there for Emma when Snake got cancer. She wasn't there. She was busy running off trying to get dick from Craig. But Emma was there for Manny when she was pregnant. Emma was there for Manny when her parents kicked her out. She was living with her. Trying to think of something else that Emma was there for Manny for. She definitely was there for her more a lot. Like, Manny would, like, completely cancel their plans just to be with another nigga. Like, I just don't get the hate for Emma. I understand that she's not one of your favorite characters, and she might say things that's a little below the belt, which is like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes she doesn't have to say things like that. But it's like, she's someone who's blunt, and she's going to, shoot it straight. She's not someone who's going to sugarcoat. I could feel like maybe sometimes when she does say things, she could be more considerate of the other people's feelings, but I don't think it's coming from a place of trying to be hurtful. It's just, how she feels. And I don't think she should be crucified for that. I don't know. I don't think she should be crucified because of her way of thinking or asking questions and shit like that. I don't think that's fair for her to be crucified because the only thing I would say Emma was really low for was when she said the shit about Liberty when it came to the whole Chris thing about what people are going to feel like if he dates Liberty next. That was a little, like, foul. But I never really felt like Emma and Liberty were friends. So to me, I don't know if they were saying that, if they made her say that because she felt like her and Liberty were friends, or because, I don't know. I never really felt like Emma was, even though it was foul for her to say that, her and Liberty aren't friends. But they only made her say that because she felt like her and Liberty were friends. So to her, it just felt like, I guess, disgusting that Liberty would want to date one of her exes, I guess. But, I don't give a fuck what the rest are trying to tell me or anybody. I did not feel like Emma and Liberty were friends. No, baby, no. And then they definitely made her a villain when they made her go out with Peter after he literally put Manny online. It was just, I don't know why they would do that. Why the fuck would you have Emma date the nigga who plastered child pornography all over the web of her best friend. That was just to make her look bad. There are some shit in the show where I feel like they did shit to make her look bad because Claire and Allie, they never did no shit like that. I mean, people like to say, oh, Claire and Allie's friendship is just a 2.0 of Manny and Emma's. To some degree, yes, but I feel like Claire and Allie were better friends towards each other. When it came to like really being there for each other, I think they were better at it than Emma and Manny. Even though sometimes there were some things where I feel like Claire and Ellie weren't friends. Like Claire and Ellie would stop being friends over petty shit. I feel like Claire and Ellie would stop being friends over petty shit, and I always had to. And it was mainly because of Claire. Claire felt like she was like more important than Ellie, and Ellie was above her. She made Ellie feel more like insignificant towards her, like made it seem like her problems didn't matter or whatever it was. But regardless of whatever y'all feel like, Claire was always there for Ellie. Whenever Ellie had some shit going on, Claire was always right there. I cannot say the same thing for Ellie. The only thing I could ever feel like Ellie was ever there for Claire was with the shit with Eli after season 10, and then when she was there for her when she got sexually harassed by her boss from the internship in season 12. Other than that, she wasn't there for Claire when her parents were going through divorce. Like there was some things where Allie wasn't there for Claire, but Claire was always down for my girl. She was always down for Allie. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. So I do feel like in the show there were some things that they did do to make Emma like a fucking villain. But regardless of all that, I fuck with Emma. She always had great storylines. She was a really good actress. She had an amazing glow up. She was beautiful. Like, yeah, like, did she start the whole thing with Rick? Yes, but she also was the one who said, fucking cut it. But it didn't make her any better when she was just really being nice to him due to pity. Like, she wasn't really genuinely being nice. You feel me? And it's like, I can't blame any of them for actually trying to be nice to him when he put a girl in a fucking coma. I mean, he was fucking abusive. You don't get a lot of niceness from me when you like to hit women. You feel me? So I can't necessarily blame her for saying, she pitied him because she can't really allow herself to really be that nice to him. But at the same time, it was wrong to try to lead him on and think he might have had a chance from her when honestly, she never would have gave him the chance today. But like I said, I fuck with Emma. I really do. I just think the show made her look like a villain at times. And I feel like Manny was like very sensitive because how is it that, oh, Emma's a devil if she say something mean about Manny, but but Manny is an angel if she say something that everybody else is thinking about Emma. Like, make it make sense. Make it sense. Make it make sense. Like, I really don't fucking get it. Like, it never makes sense to me. But I fuck with Emma. She's definitely an overrated character, and I feel like at this point the hate is just forced at this point. You do not have to be like everybody in the community or the Degrassi community who just ride along and hate her with so much hate. You can have your own fucking opinions. It's like the same thing with Drew, and I cannot wait to get with that because I was actually talking to my sister thinking like, should I even make a Drew character video? Because I talk about his character a lot in the past, but only thing I ever talked about was the derailment in his character. I never really talked about how good of a character he actually is overall. And I actually am. I'm actually am. Like I said, I'm going to talk about some guy characters. I'm not going to be talking about every character in Degrassi. I'm not going to discuss everyone. Just a couple of people that I really want to talk about. Like, there are a couple of people from the OG era I wanted to speak about. And I think I kind of covered who I wanted to talk about from the OG era for real. Like, Emma, Sean, Ellie, and many were like the main ones that stuck out to me that I really want to talk about as far as the OG era is concerned. For the newer era, there are characters I do want to talk about. Like, I want to talk about Bianca's character. I want to talk about Drew. I want to talk about Miles. I want to talk about Zig. I want to talk about Tristan. I want to talk about Maya. I want to talk about I don't know if it's any. I want to talk about Miles. Like, there are a few characters I want to talk about, but I'm not going to be talking about everyone. So I do want to take this time and talk about some guy characters. So yeah, I do want to talk about some guy characters. But what was I saying? Yeah, like Emma's character kind of somewhat remind me of Drew. Like, Drew's character is like really overhated to where I feel like this shit is forced. Like there are people in Degrassi who did far more worse shit than Drew or Emma has ever done or ever said to somebody, and yet they're just hated like that. Like for what? I don't get it. Like y'all overlooked their character development, y'all overlooked the great storylines and some of their best acting moments they had. Due to what? Because they might have said something y'all didn't agree with. They're fucking human. They're gonna make mistakes. They're not perfect. Like I just don't get it. Like I feel like when it comes to Degrassi characters, Emma, Drew, and Craig are definitely over fucking hated to where it's like I really don't get it. Make it make sense to me. That's all I really gotta say for this video. I really wish Emma doesn't get the hate that she get, but we live in a community where everybody want to be sheep. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Emma's one of my favorite female characters. I fuck with her to the day I die. I'm gonna always be a fan of her whenever I watch Degrassi. She's a way more interesting character to me than Manny is. That's just on period. The next character I'm gonna be talking about from Degrassi is gonna be Tristan. I'm gonna try to write down characters that I know I want to talk about because I know I don't want to talk about everyone. But like I said, if there's some characters I want to discuss more about, I'm gonna write them down on a piece of paper and talk about their character. Because same thing with Miles. I did talk about Miles being overhated, but I never really talked about how good of a great character he is, which is something I really want to do because Miles is hands down one of the greatest Degrassi characters ever. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'll catch you guys in my next video.